since we have got together and had a look and had a talk about something, so I thought today we could do just that and take a look at this Seoul tourist guide. And I have a few stories related to this. If you do enjoy this video, please consider giving it a like and having a look at the rest of my videos on this channel. My plan is to make a map of South Korea video at some point soon, and also related to this, I have a few more guides and things from different areas that we could also take a look at if you guys enjoy this one. So please let me know in the comments below whether you guys want to see that. But yeah, with all that said, let's get into this Seoul tourist guide. So the story is quite a simple one really. It's that for 3.5 weeks I was on holiday, partly in Seoul, mainly in Japan, but I did go to Seoul for about 5.5 days, and then I was in Japan for about 2.5 weeks. So yeah, as I say, it was quite a brief stint in Seoul. The original plan of the trip was just to go to Japan, but we thought, because we're going from the UK, and it's obviously a very long flight from the UK, that we would stop off in Seoul, because it's, very close by, and it's not often that you get to go so far away from home on these trips, and it didn't actually add that much money in terms of flights. So yeah, let's open the guide up. This is the first page. It's a preview of sort of more, I guess, touristy destinations in Seoul. I think some of them are sort of not in the right place because there's pictures. So I think, for example, here Hongik University is shown as being here. I think it's more like here, in this area here. I think I would have stayed around here, just above the river, sort of here. We stayed in an area called Mapogu, which was quite close actually, and I'm surprised it isn't on here. It was quite close to the Football World Cup Stadium. Obviously in 2002, South Korea hosted the FIFA World Cup, so the stadium that was built for that tournament is, I think it's around here-ish, and we were a little bit further towards the centre of Seoul. So yeah, there's a few other things I visited. The Namsan Seoul Tower is like probably the most famous touristy spot. I visited this cathedral here and Gyeongbokgung Palace up here, and there's a few others. Like I saw the City Hall. That's not really a touristy thing though. It's just a city hall. I didn't get to see the War Memorial of Korea, unfortunately. I didn't get to see a lot of things. As I say, it was a short trip, and when you're out there, especially the first day, I'd say the first maybe 4 days of the trip, I was so jet lagged because it's about a 20-hour flight in total. We changed in Doha in Qatar. So we flew from Manchester in the UK to Doha, and then from Doha to Incheon International Airport, which is, as you can see here. So Incheon International Airport, it says about 30 kilometres. It's way, way out this way, and actually on the coast. It's on its own island, in fact, and it's probably about an hour's drive or train from the airport into the city of Seoul itself. So yeah, it actually didn't end up costing that much because taxis and everything, in fact, is pretty reasonably priced in Korea. Eating out and going for drinks, and everything is very reasonably priced. So let's turn the page. I think this is the contents. So, is there anything that catches my eye here? I don't actually think I've sat down and read this yet. I believe this tour guide was in the Airbnb that we stayed at. The lovely lady who hosted the Airbnb for us left 2 of these tourist guides and a few other goodies in the Airbnb for us. She was very, very nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to look at page... actually first, let's do 6 and 8 because... Okay, so it's Seoul Palace tour. So as I say, the one that I went to was Gyeongbokgung Palace. It's absolutely gorgeous. I actually have a photo pretty much from this angle. I didn't know that this might be like a famous spot because you get the tree cover over the top like this. I actually have a picture from there. So shall we read? I'll read the top. Number 1. The first royal palace built in the Joseon dynasty. I'm sorry, I can't speak Korean or sort of pronounce in Korean. Is where the 500-year history of Joseon began. The largest of the 5 palaces remaining in Seoul, Gyeongbokgung Palace, showcases Joseon's royal culture, palace life, and architect through Gyeongjongjeon Hall, Gyeonghyoru Pavilion, and other structures. The National Palace Museum of Korea and National Folk Museum of Korea are nearby, offering opportunities to learn more about royal culture and historical living environments. So, yeah, what I will say is it's huge inside. You pay, you walk through a gate at the front, you pay, I think it was only like 3,000 won, if I've got that right, which is, I think, probably about £1.50, so maybe like $2.50, and you can walk around. It's absolutely gorgeous inside. We went on a very nice day as well. It was very sunny and not too cold. So we went in November until the middle of December. So in my country, the UK, it would have been freezing cold, but actually for a majority of the trip it was quite a nice temperature, sort of mid-teens, in both Korea and Japan, and generally the weather was very nice. So apart from, I think there was one night in Seoul where it rained, and then one night when we were in Osaka in Japan where it rained, but apart from that it was pretty much sunny the whole trip. So yeah, as you see, there's 4 palaces, and then there's Jongmyo Shrine, which we nearly went to, but we didn't end up having time, unfortunately. There, I think it's Doksugung and Gyeongbokgung are quite close to each other. There's 2 that are pretty much next to each other. I think one of them is open one day and the other one is open the next, so they alternate the days on which they're open, if I've got that right. So on the day that we went, Gyeongbokgung was the one that was open. So let's turn over. I hope the camera is okay. It's different than the one I used before, but it should technically be better and more clear. Hiking. So I didn't actually do any hiking. As I say, we were very busy for a good majority of the trip, and we were jet lagged as well, so we had a lot of sleeping to catch up on the first day, so we only really got about 4.5 days. So yeah, there is, as it shows here, there is a mountain, or a tall hill, I guess it is a mountain, pretty much overlooking the city, and about halfway up that is Namsan Tower. Or not halfway up, but one of the smaller hills is Namsan Tower. And then if you look around, you can see pretty much all of Seoul from there, and then there's some larger mountains behind the Namsan Tower hill. Whoops. So I'm just trying to see if I recognise anything. These are just hiking trails, I think. As I say, we didn't get much chance to do anything like this. Museums. Which was the one we went to? I can't remember. I don't know that we went to any of those, so I'm going to try and stick to things that we did so I can at least talk about them. The river, I mean, we obviously stayed near the river. It's very nice. It's huge. It is a very, very, very wide river, especially at this area here where the island is. It's absolutely massive. I don't think you quite realise the scale of it on a map. But yeah, it's very nice down by the river. Forests. So World Cup Park was quite close to where we stayed. The Olympic Park, obviously, Seoul has hosted is it the Olympics or the Winter Olympics? I can't remember. Seoul Forest, we did not get to see because it was on the other side of the city from where we were staying, unfortunately. So, there's all these other places here. Itaewon Street. I would imagine that I've been up that because we were in Itaewon a little bit. So let's see, downtown. What is it classed as downtown? So near the Namsan Tower is downtown. So I've been here, yeah. So yeah, there's the Namsan Seoul Tower. I think is it a radio tower, I guess, or something along those lines. It shows here the locks of love. There's like railings where you can get a couple's lock and chain it to the railing, and I guess that means that your love will last forever or something like that. I mean, I went up there on my own because the day that I went, we were supposed to do this. My friend was ill. I went with one other friend, and he wasn't very well. So I went up on my own, and I felt very out of place because it was literally just couples and myself. So yeah, I did meet a nice fellow Brit up there though, and we had a nice chat. So that was fun. I didn't take the cable car. I walked up because I'm a manly man. I walked up in jeans actually, and it was quite a humid day. It was about 18 degrees, sunny, quite humid, and I walked up the hill in jeans, and I would not recommend that if you are ever in Seoul. Do not walk up the Namsan Tower hill in jeans. It is a terrible experience. I was very sweaty. sure you don't need to be told that because you're not as stupid as I am. So Myeongdong is, as it says there, shopping district. Yeah, it says there department stores, shops selling top branded cosmetics, clothing, footwear, accessories. So that's a bit more of the I guess modernised and I wouldn't say rich areas, but it's definitely a nice sort of, well, not nicer, but more modern, and it attracts young people for clothes shopping and things like that. Seoul Plaza, I've been there. The City Hall, it's very nice. It's very busy, as you can imagine. I think something around 10 million people live in Seoul, which is, I mean, crazy. I think that's more than London. And actually, Tokyo in Japan, where I went to on the trip as well, is something like 33 million people, which is, I mean, it's just absolutely insane. I'm from quite a small place, so for me it was a culture shock seeing so many people. Quite overwhelming at first. There's absolutely no time to dawdle if you're getting the subway, or everybody's, things like subway gates, etc. There's absolutely no time to dawdle. Like checking whether you have your card or anything like that. You have to just tap your thing on the gate and walk through as fast as you can so you don't hold anyone else up. But yeah, I mean, you just get used to it after a while. Myeongdong Cathedral, I have visited there. The first Gothic cathedral is known for its majestic beauty. Remains of Catholic martyrs are enshrined in this 120-year-old cathedral founded by Koreans themselves, which is unprecedented in the history of the nation's church buildings. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's not huge, but it is very nice. I was expecting it to be bigger. I guess that's just me being ignorant, but yeah, it is nonetheless very, very nice. Don't think I've been to any of those places. We didn't go there. Jongdong-gil. So this is kind of near, I guess, near where we were staying. We tried to stay in an area that was that there were sort of more young people in, just for a better sort of atmosphere. And there is an area of the city called Hongdae, which a lot of the university students in the city, there's like I think there's three universities. There's Ewha Girls University, there's Hongik, and I think there might be Hongdae University, very close to each other. So yeah, it's a very lively area, partying hard most nights of the week. I was very surprised at how hard they go on the partying in Korea. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was really cool. But a lot of the places you were sort of looking at, if you went to a club, it was like anywhere after 6 a.m. you would be leaving. Which is crazy. I mean, like in the UK, you're looking at like 3, 4 a.m. latest. But yeah, they party really hard till the early hours of the morning. So yeah, as we've already seen, Gyeongbokgung Palace, Performing Arts Centre, National Museum for Contemporary History. Yeah, so now, as you can see, we're just on a basically area by area tour of the city. There's probably a lot of areas here that I didn't know that I've been in or walked past, but I would imagine I probably have. Mr. Page, Northwest. Okay, so this is a bit close to where I was. Northwest. Yeah, here we go. So Mango Market was very, very close to where we stayed. Like literally, like a 2-minute walk. So this market has emerged as a hot destination in Seoul. New facilities such as a Mall Street have been added to make the market more convenient, and there are plenty of delicious and low-priced foods here. Croquettes, hot dog. I think I had the croquettes. They were very nice. I think that was what I had. Kalguksu, dakganjong, and sweet and sour chicken nuggets. Hongyo mujim. And fresh fruits are especially popular. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like an old style market. It's quite long. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just. I think there's probably quite a few of them across the city, but Mangor Market's one of the bigger ones, I think. You know, just local people selling their goods. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Hongdae. Yeah, here we go. Well, there you go. Hongdae is known as the main hub for nightlife, offering music and dance of diverse genres, including electronic, hip-hop, K-pop, house, deep house, and jazz. If clubs aren't your vibe, you can visit live bars where indie bands perform. Yeah, so it's, and Sinchon was close to where we stayed also. Yeah, they go hard, and the bars are really fun. There's quite a few, like, British-inspired bars, which is, like, kind of strange for me to think that, like, across the world there's almost like a romanticization of British pop culture. I mean, it's nothing special, but yeah, it's kind of cool at the same time, and it's you know, nice and homely if you're, I guess, sort of you are what am I trying to say? You know, feeling a bit homesick. Yeah, it was cool to just walk into like a pub style bar and get a pint, sit down with a pint, as all Brits do. Itaewon, we went to Itaewon a few times. Itaewon, there are a lot of international people and students in Itaewon, a lot of foreigners. There's a lot of Americans in Itaewon. This is where I met the most people from different countries around the world in Itaewon. Like people from Europe, people from the US, people from other parts of Asia, people from South Africa, Australia, places like that. So yeah, Itaewon's cool. Itaewon's cool. Slightly older demographic, I would say, than Hongdae. Like Hongdae is very much university age people, whereas Itaewon is maybe more sort of mid to late 20s. But yeah, I had a good time in pretty much everywhere I go. I'm very easy in terms of having a good time. So let me see if there's anything else. Okay, food. Yes, the food is fantastic. I do want to talk about the food. So let's see. So Korean fried chicken is quite famous. It's very nice. It's very, very nice. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I've had here. Deep fried hot dog. It's basically a corn dog, but nicer. Sorry, Americans. Tteokbokki is pretty cool. It's cool, pretty cool. It's pretty nice. obviously is very famous. It's okay. I had a bulgogi burger from McDonald's. That was interesting. Food alleys. So yeah, I mean, Mango Market is an example of one of these areas where there's like stalls and stands of people selling different specialty foods. I think there is a bit of a stigma about being careful in areas like that to not get like food poisoning and things, but I think you can generally sort of tell the quality of the food that you're going to get from a place by looking around. So yeah, you just got to use your own common sense in those situations. Yeah, all bibimbap is very, very nice. Soju is fantastic. I actually still have half a bottle of it downstairs. It doesn't taste of much, I will say. It doesn't taste of much, but you can get flavoured soju. It's interesting. If you drink soju in the UK or in the US, a lot of times you're drinking flavoured soju. But if you order soju at a restaurant, 95 times out of 100, it's going to come out as just plain unflavoured soju. So yeah, I brought some plain soju home. Come in a green bottle, strong alcohol flavour, sweet fruit flavoured soju is also available for those that don't like the alcohol flavour. Yeah, there you go. So if you are weak, Mekju is just the Korean word for beer. They actually do. You pour a bit of soju in the bottom of your glass, and then you fill it up with beer, and it's called somek. So the so from soju and the mek from Mekju. It's called somek, and it's just makes your beer taste stronger, but it gets you on your way to being drunk. So if that's your thing, then yeah, it's there for you. Shopping malls. I'm not much of a shopper myself, as you can probably imagine. Day to try something different. We didn't get to do much of this. The guided walking tour, so we're getting to the end of the book here now. Things to know. So yeah, 10,001 is about £5.50, so maybe $8, $7.50, $8 US. I have about 25 of these 101 coins downstairs that I failed to get rid of before I left Korea. Yeah, it gets super cold in the deep winter, so I have a few friends now. It's been very cold in the UK at the moment. Where I am at the moment, it's about -4 to -6 in the evenings. And a friend of mine in Korea was showing that it was -7 in Korea at the moment. But when we were there in November, as it says, between 13 and 14, it was yeah, it was nice. It was actually very nice. That's a perfect temperature for me. If it's sunny and mid-teens, I'm happy. So yeah, they use a European plug, which I thought was interesting. I guess it's not a European plug; it's just that type of plug. But I know it as the European plug. Obviously, the UK uses our own types of plug because we are special. So we can't use any other plugs, any of our plugs anywhere else. Key information: taxis are super cheap, as I said. They're probably about half the price they are in the UK. Buses are good. You have something called is it a T-Money card? I think it's a T-Money card. issue on buses and the subway and trains. And you can just top that up at a convenience store. So a lot of them will have scanners. I don't speak Korean, so I just held my card up and held a 10,000 won bill up and sort of just pointed at the card, and you kind of get the idea. There's a lot of awkward interaction that I had with people in Korea because I don't know any Korean, but didn't really have those problems in Japan as much because I can speak a little bit of Japanese. I've been learning for the past just over a year, and it's actually not so bad, and it got quite a lot better while I was there as well, so I was pretty happy about that. And there's I did not know this was here. Oh, okay, I'm going to save that. We may look at those on a later date. So that was the Seoul Tourist Guide. If you're still here, thank you. As I say, if you would like to see something similar to this, I have a few guides from Japan. I'd probably have to put a few of them in the same video because they're more like specific palace or shrine guides. But yeah, if you'd like to see that, please let me know. If you'd like to see the map of South Korea also, then please let me know about that as well. But with all of that said, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed, please consider subscribing if you're still sticking around. I only like to ask if people are still here at the end. And yeah, thank you very much. All the very best to you. Hope you're having a good new year so far. I'm not going to promise a certain date for a video, but I will say that I'm hopefully going to be making some more soon. Because yeah, I've got the motivation back again. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.